My Learning Manifesto. We cannot switch the mission of education unless we also switch the method. Seth Godin. What if we changed things up a bit when it comes to education? Oftentimes we ask young children, what do you want to be when you grow up? They often tell us they want to be a fireman, or a policeman, a teacher, or a movie star. We chuckle, pat them on their heads, and tell them how cute they are, and that's pretty much the end of it. But what if we followed up on that? What if we followed up by asking questions such as, oh really? Tell me more. Why? Why do you want to be a fireman? What if we listened? What if we listened to what they told us about why they want to become a fireman or a movie star? School serves a real function when it activates a passion for lifelong learning, not when it establishes permanent boundaries for an elite class. Seth Godin. What if part of our children's early education we took them to experience more activities? The child who says he wants to be a firefighter, put him in a group with other children who think they might want to be firefighters and take them to a fire station to talk to a fireman and ask questions and spark his curiosity even further. For the children who think they want to be teachers, put them in groups with other teachers, other children who think they want to be teachers, and see if they actually enjoy standing in front of a group of people and delivering a message. For the children who want to get into acting, give them scripts. Let them dress up. Let them take videos of each other and see if it's something that they really do want to pursue. But what if a child, after pursuing something for a while, decides it's not for him? That's okay. They're young. They've learned a new skill set that they can probably apply to a new activity. It's okay to let them change their mind. Why do we ignore passions that children have at very young ages and then wait until they're a high school graduate to ask them what they want to do? Large-scale education was not developed to motivate kids or create scholars. It was invented to churn out adults who worked well within the system. Seth Godin. Seth Godin speaks about formal education that was developed 150 years ago and explains why it's outdated. 150 years ago, children were put into formal education to train them to work in factories. The factory settings are no longer as important as they used to be, and yet we still have children in traditional school settings, and many of them are getting frustrated because they don't see any relevance in their learning. What if we just focused education around a child's passion and made their learning experience more relevant to them? If we give kids the foundation to dream, they will figure out the grammar and the history the minute it helps them to reach their goals and make a difference. Many people will say, well, what about the important things like learning to read and math skills and learning to write? I agree with Seth Godin that the basic skills will follow. If you make the learning relevant to the child's passion or interest, they'll definitely be more interested in learning the words that are associated with that passion. 20 years ago, I decided I wanted to start an online yarn shop. I knew very little about internet retail. I knew a little bit about web design. I knew a little bit about selling some things on eBay, but that was about it. I had to spend an awful lot of time teaching myself how to use certain programs, certain software, certain shipping programs, how to open merchant accounts, how to use QuickBooks, how to accept credit cards for payment, and so on. These were all skills that if you'd have asked me to learn them even just a year earlier, I would have looked at you like you were crazy. But because I knew that there was a purpose and learning these skills was relevant to a goal that I had in my mind, a dream or a passion, I spent an awful lot of time pouring through books and learning. I believe that if we make learning relevant to students, By helping them discover a passion at an early age, learning can be more focused and become more effective. In summary, my learning manifesto can be called the 3 F's: finding children find their passion and interest, focusing their education around their passion, and flipping the classroom, which allows students to access the best speakers at any time from home and encourage collaborative learning when they come back to the classroom the next day. This allows the teacher to become a facilitator and a learning coach. I also don't believe it's necessary for students to memorize facts when they have the ability to look them up at any time they want. I believe more in teaching children how to fish than giving them a fish.